Welcome to the Horror Unmasked podcast,
where we unmask the monsters
and explore the lore.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Lily, and today we will be dissecting
Halloween Kills. Let's let evil die tonight. We see Cameron walking home as he tries to call Oscar,
the friend that was killed on the fence last episode.
Yeah. But we cut to him hanging on the fence.
As I said.
Yeah. And Cameron finds Hawkins.
Because he's alive!
He's alive! And he says that he is going to be the one to kill him.
Yep. Because he's so profound or whatever.
And we get a flashback to the fateful night in 1978. We follow a young Hawkins as him and his fellow police look for Michael. And they end up at the old Myers house, where Michael attacks Hawkins and his partner. And as Hawkins tries to shoot Michael, he shoots his partner instead. But in the end, Michael gets captured.
We love to see it.
We now move forward to Halloween night 2018 at a bar where we see a grown-up Tommy retelling the story of Michael Myers.
And how Lori was his babysitter.
Mm-hmm. And we see Lori, Karen, and Allison in the back of a truck going to a hospital as they see a fire truck clearly going to the house on fire.
You know, because this is literally the exact moment after
moments.
2018.
And they scream to let it burn. We then see the firefighters dealing with the fire. But Michael is still alive.
Shocker.
And kills one of the firefighters. And then we see him walk outside and kill
the rest of them.
All the rest of them. Not a one survives.
Nope. We get to the hospital, and there is fear as we wait to see what happens to Lori, and the reality of the night dawns on Karen and Allison. Michael murders a random couple for their knives.
For real. It's random as shit.
He just
walks in the house.
Your knives, bro.
And murders them for the knives.
We go back to the bar, and everyone is having fun, when Lonnie gets a call from his son, Cameron, and tells him about the cop that was attacked, and takes off after him. We then see the police surveying Lori's home and the carnage that took place, when we flip back to the bar as the people hear about the events of the night, and as people go to leave, they freak out about someone hiding in a car, as it is just another patient, but they think it is Michael, and go on a manhunt. Back at the hospital, they find out Michael is still alive, and Allison wants to join the hunt. Karen wants more protection for her family, but Allison leaves a knife for Lori as she leaves to join the hunt. Tommy informs the others as they begin patrolling the town. Michael goes on a killing spree, and Lindsay is the only one left alive as she runs to get away from Michael.
To think that in this film we do get some of the characters from the first initial films, because we get a nurse, we get Lindsay, we get Tommy.
The two kids being babysat that one night.
Yeah, and it's, it's crazy to see
they got
them
all wiped out.
Just, it's wild, for real. Back at the hospital, Lori is awake, and Karen realizes Allison has left. We meet up with Allison as they come upon Lindsay's car, and there are no bodies in the car because Michael has placed them on the playground.
In some weird effing positions.
Which I will say, that is the one thing that I found fascinating, that I realize is a thing that Michael does, is that he will take the bodies, sometimes he will take the bodies and put them in
and
random
pose
places.
them, which I don't understand.
I'm like, that's strange that he would do that.
Exactly.
But they also find Lindsay. Back at the hospital, Lori and Hawkins talk about their past. Both of them believe Michael is dead.
He ain't. Psych.
Yeah. As the hospital becomes heightened in panic, Lori finally finds out that Michael is still alive, and she prepares herself to fight.
Stupid. Girl, you've been stabbed. Sit down.
She's just like, this stuff, it'll make the pain go away. Stab.
Stabs herself in the leg.
For real.
With a needle.
No, she stabs herself directly in the sutures.
Oh, the suture. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like...
Right where she was stabbed.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. The pain that would come from that.
I don't know why she had to stab herself so violently. Like, she could have just put it in there and then... And it would have had the same effect, but...
For real.
Okay, girl.
We now meet the current owners of the Myers house.
I love them. They decorated the house so gallantly and so...
And they are a gay couple.
Yeah, it's so eclectic and just, I love it.
And you want to know what? Michael kills them.
He's homophobic.
Back at the hospital.
They just can't let gay people win.
You know, that makes me think of It.
We just can't win.
The second It.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
In the first part of the second part and in the last part of the second part of It.
You know.
It just all feels so homophobic. It's fine. And the fact that I don't see any lesbians in here. Okay? Not a one. It's always two men. Which, period. But where are my girls at?
So back at the hospital, the other patient that broke out with Michael,
who was hiding in the car,
is in the hospital, but everyone believes it is Michael.
Fucking stupid.
The people are going rabid.
Actually insane.
For real. Lori and Hawkins are talking, and he reveals that on the night Michael was captured, it could have all ended, but he let him live. As the people of the hospital meet a crescendo, the patient jumps to his death.
Because he literally saw no other way out. They were going to kill him either way, so...
Which was depressing, because, like...
As fuck.
You realize that Karen realized that he wasn't it and tried to, like, save him.
Yeah, but she couldn't. There was nothing she could have done. It was almost like something got a hold of everyone's brains and they were just like...
It didn't help that Tommy, incited violence with everybody, but, We then meet back up with Allison and they realize Michael is going home.
Which he's already home, but,
Spoiler warning. Skip ahead.
Allison, Lonnie, and Cameron arrive at the Myers house, and Lonnie goes inside. The second Allison and Cameron hear a gunshot, they both go inside and hear footsteps upstairs. Music begins playing, and Cameron goes looking around to find his dad's dead body. Basically, like, kind of tucked in the attic.
Yeah, like the attic, like the
door.
Yeah.
Michael attacks him, stabbing him multiple times, finally killing him on the sharp wood of the staircase. Fucking crazy. Allison taunts Michael to come for her. He almost gets her, and as she says to do it, Karen stabs Michael with a pitchfork. Then takes off his mask. And as Michael wakes back up, Karen reminds him of the night he killed his sister, and he follows Karen. But it was a trap. The townspeople have cornered him, and as he puts his mask back on, they begin the attack, as Karen stabs him. As the people begin getting brutally killed by Michael, you can hear Lori talking about how pure evil he is, and that he grows with, and that evil grows with every death, as Michael kills Tommy. They all think that Michael is dead, but Karen goes up to where Michael stands in the house and is attacked and killed.
For real. Which is like a weird ending,
Yeah.
but whatever.
I don't know how he got up there with all the cops and stuff, but
And all the people outside, but you know,
Mhm.
whatever.
it's fine.
The end.
Anywho,
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people say that the last movie, the next movie, and this one could have just, like, been done together.
possibly.
It could have just been a little longer of a movie,
Mm-hmm.
and they could have just resolved it to some degree. But, yeah. But this movie was released October 15th, 2021.
A few years ago.
The director is David Gordon Green.
DGG.
Distributed by Universal Pictures. I do have their budget and box office.
Okay, go for
Their
it.
budget was $20 million. Their box office was $133.4 million.
Which was, I think, almost half of what they made with the last one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So not doing too good, especially with a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes.
The concept for this movie could have worked a little better.
Right.
Had they just tweaked some things
Mhm.
and taken some things out.
I agree.
You know?
Are you saying 2018 and this one could have been put into one?
No. This one and Ends. Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends.
I don't really see that. I think that
Because remove that whole character, the ending of the movie, we
Oh,
could have just
I see what you
smashed
mean.
this shit all together and been done.
I got you.
Like, we didn't need him. We didn't need this new story.
No, but it was good.
Like,
Yeah.
because
Anyway.
it wasn't necessary to the overall story.
Right. Because again, this movie is an hour and 46 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's a long one because they all are. And then the kill count is the highest out of any Halloween movie that's been
Mhm.
out. With 31 people. You got the firefighters, you got all the
Yep.
OG people from the original.
Yep.
You've got that one guy from the mental institution. You've got all the people at the end who were trying to kill him, but
Yep.
Michael fights back.
Karen.
Karen, Cameron,
Yeah.
Lonnie,
Yeah.
everyone.
So.
Everyone's dead.
Yeah. For real. You have a cast?
Right. It's pretty much the same
Yeah.
as last time. So we've got Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie,
Mm-hmm.
Andy Matichak as Allison,
Mm-hmm.
James Jude Courtney and Nick Castle as Michael Myers,
Yeah.
Dylan Arnold as Cameron,
Mm-hmm.
Judy Greer as Karen, and then you could add the
Hawkins.
Hawkins and things like that.
Yeah. But I didn't see them as main characters. Like Hawkins, I could see Hawkins.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you know.
Do you have who played Hawkins?
Nope. I do not.
That's okay. The
But
guy
I
who
do.
played
I might
Hawkins-
have him in the next one. Hold on. Will Patton
Gotcha. Will Patton is
is
Hawkins.
Hawkins. So Frank Hawkins.
There you go.
But yeah. So I would see him as more important. I'm not as worried about Tommy and all the rest of them because they are important, but they're not crucial,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. Like if they weren't in the movie,
Yeah.
the movie would still progress.
Mm-hmm.
You know? All right. Are you ready for
Give
some
me
notes?
some backstory behind the scenes.
Alrighty. So Christopher Nelson made a statement about saying that they remembered seeing the film Aliens,
Yes,
which also needs to be on our list, but that's besides the point.
for sure.
So he referred to the first film as beautiful and is one of his favorite series in the series.
Which I get. I get it.
Yeah. And because Alien came out and he remembered that when he went to see it, there were things that obviously wanted to see in the film, and things that they expect as fans and stuff like that. Because the first film is legendary. And he even refers to that even with his making his help in making these films as well. It's the idea that the first film is great, but you want to make the sequel go further.
Yeah.
There were things that the fan in him wanted to see. And so that's kind of how they move forward with Halloween Kills. And I think there was a small bit of that may have been to their detriment a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they say that this one will deliver for Halloween fans, both for fans of the 2018 films and fans of the original 1978 film. It gives them what they want to see both visually and story-wise, and that it feels like a natural progression of the narrative. So, pertaining to his visual design approach of the character, one who met a fiery fate in the closing moments of Halloween, it was definitely a challenge considering what happens at the end of the 2018 film. It was a challenge carrying the mystery into our approach of him. We can't take away the silhouette, obviously, that the face that everyone knows and loves, and that they're not going to reinvent themselves, but that they would evolve it. And that was the way for them to approach it. So they approached the design from an emotional standpoint, so everything can flow and live within the context of the world and the story which David is telling.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest special effects piece was really kind of fascinating to see was the appearance of Dr. Loomis in the movie. The psychiatrist who treated Myers. Because Donald Pleasance,
Right, in the flashback at the beginning.
portrays the doctor in the 5 Halloween films. But he died in 1995.
Yeah.
The character pops up in several flashback scenes thanks to some makeup magic.
I didn't even question it. I was like, yeah, they filmed this back in the 70s.
I thought that too until I found this out. It actually is about a 12-piece prosthetic makeup.
Wow.
That and a hairpiece. That is completely practical prosthetics look like.
Yes! That's why it looks so good. They didn't use CGI.
Yeah, for real. Because the makeup was put on a gentleman by the name of Tom Jones Jr., who was a construction coordinator.
Wow. So they were like, you look most like him. Let's get you off the street. Come on.
Literally, he looked close enough to Donald Pleasance, so they decided to take him the rest of the way.
Yes.
And so that one was really one of their biggest special effects kind of makeup
Those are
pieces.
awesome.
And I was shocked because it really looks like him.
Yeah.
It's amazing how well
the
it was done.
voice as well. Like, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Very, very, very much so. So, talking more on Nelson Green. So, he had past projects, particularly Kill Bill and American Horror Story.
Yes.
So, Nelson brings his A game to the effort because Kill Bill was a huge one. That was a master degree in blood gags.
Yeah. For sure. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So working for K&B EFX Group really honed his skills as far as thinking on his toes, simplifying things, being spontaneous, and building on the fly. So he took all of that knowledge and built upon it. Like, he's not even sure how many gallons of blood he used during filming, but no doubt it was substantial.
Yeah, for sure.
Because at the end of the day, he'd go back to his hotel room covered in blood. And he said most of the time it was like 7 a.m. because they were shooting at night. So 7 a.m, strolling into a lobby covered in blood, all in my hair. It kind of raises alarms.
Maybe just a bit. I'm surprised he didn't get like stopped and
for real
called the cops on.
But yeah, he worked closely with Vincent Van Dyke to build the gags. He has a very clean, realistic aesthetic. So he brings realism to the table, and it's very easy for these kinds of movies to go into a more comical, schlocky world, whereas Vincent's good about not letting it do that.
Yeah.
So they kind of work together to keep it, at least to some degree, realistic enough in the space. Because I can't remember what it was, what film it was, or if it was something mentioned at Halloween Horror Nights. I cannot remember. Or it was a movie. It was something. I was listening to something or I was watching something, and someone mentioned, like, they take a fluorescent tube and stab it into someone's throat, and this person's still fighting. And I'm like,
Huh?
I was
Is
listening
this a movie?
to one of my podcasts, yeah. And they were talking about a movie where someone stabs a fluorescent tube into the neck of someone, and that person's still fighting and alive. And they were like, there's no way in hell that same gag happens in this movie. Because when he goes to kill Laurie's neighbors, Michael stabs a fluorescent tube into her neck.
Yeah. And she's still alive.
And she's still alive.
Yeah. She just couldn't speak.
Yeah. So in this movie, he stabs her in the neck. So it's kind of made me laugh because I was like, oh, well, no, people can survive that.
Yeah.
I was like, so there is a level of realism in that.
I didn't think she was alive, though. I thought she
would
would
have
have been
thought
dead.
she was dead, too. I totally thought at the end of that scene.
Yeah.
But shocker.
We find out later. She lives.
And again, one of the more challenging aspects of Halloween Kills was creating the iconic mask scene during flashbacks.
Trying to make it back to the original.
Exactly. Because they were determined to capture the look and the feel of the original, something he believed had been missing from the numerous Halloween sequels. He admitted that it wasn't easy. It was not easy. Because 1798 was a perfect storm of accidents.
That's right.
Because it's the way that it fit that guy. It was the way that it was lit. It was the way that it was shot. It changed all the time. That's why it looks different in every photo. That's why it's been so difficult to emulate and duplicate over the years.
For sure.
So they poured over every old mask photo they could find because he knew that it should have like a cold, blank look, but he also felt it needed to evoke a sense of tragedy. So in a way, it's a tragedy mask. It's like, it's truly a form of a tragedy mask. So obviously he worked with,
which again is why I'm so confused, because it makes him seem like he has feelings.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Look, girl, I already agreed with you on the fact that they if they had put a little bit more into his backstory, we would have gotten a little bit more. But
it's fine.
I'm gonna say this: people still liked Maleficent, even though no one knew who the fuck she was before we got Maleficent.
You mean in Sleeping Beauty?
Yeah.
That's
everybody
true.
knew who everybody liked Maleficent.
That's because she was like a bad bitch and then turned into a dragon. Everybody's like, whoa, I like that.
Yeah.
So,
this man's an unkillable monster.
but that's a cartoon, so we can believe it a little more, you know?
Because women turn into dragons all the time.
Yeah. We're
But
just cool and awesome like that.
But yeah, Nelson worked with Van Dyke and Danielle Trinananzi,
Sure.
a sculptor at Van Dyke's Burbank-based shop, and they fashioned the mask for those flashback scenes and everything. But
Very good.
yeah, that's my notes. That's
Sounds
what I
good.
got.
I feel like I have more 1 stars than I do notes, to be honest. Okay, so in the honor of Michael finally returning to his home, I did a little research on the Myers house.
Ooh, yeah, makes sense.
So it's also known as the Century House. It was built sometime in the 1800s most likely 1888, and was noted as possibly being the city's oldest surviving residence. So when they were looking to find a place to film, they wanted something that was super dingy and old, but something that they could also like make new again. So that I'm pretty sure what happened was they filmed it the way it was, and then when they were filming when Michael was little is when they kind of fixed it up a little more.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have to like go back and forth between fixing it up, making it look nice versus just how it already was.
Yeah.
So it was located in South Pasadena, Florida, or California. Not Florida. Definitely not Florida.
South Pasadena.
Yeah, South Pasadena,
California.
If you want the exact address, it's 707 Meridian Avenue, South Pasadena, California. It appeared in Halloween.
I wonder if it's still up. Like, if it's still up.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Okay.
So, yeah, appeared in poor quality because that's exactly how it looked at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the production team made the restorations for the 1963 scenes.
Yeah.
So then in 1987, many houses on Meridian Avenue were going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Including the Myers house.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but it was saved by a council member named David Margrave. So he made an offer to the owner, which...
I feel like you should say that name a little bit more ominously.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. David Margrave.
It fits more. It fits.
Yeah.
It fits.
So he made an offer to the original owner and then gave him a week to move the house from the site.
Oh, shit.
Otherwise, it would have been torn down.
Yeah.
But as Margrave didn't own any actual land, so he ended up moving the house to a corner by the railroad tracks. And due to its history, the city of South Pasadena allowed it to stay there.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, this is an epic house.
Yeah, that's a movie house.
That's the Michael house. So,
like, it's the equivalent of the Conjuring house, which
Yeah.
was purchased by somebody.
So now it can be found, if you want an exact address, is 1000 Mission Street, South Pasadena, California, right next to the railroad tracks. And it's used as a chiropractor's office. Yeah. But it's had many different businesses inside over the years. Just right now, that's what it is. And maybe it'll stay that way. Maybe it won't. I'm surprised they didn't turn it into like some sort of museum or something.
Yeah.
But,
because I would have gone. I would love to go see that house.
right.
Just be cool to go see, like, homes that were the scenes or icons of, like, certain films and stuff.
Actually, you can.
Yeah.
Because there's another Myers house.
Oh, shit.
Located in North Carolina.
Oh.
This one was built by a Halloween fan.
Gotcha.
But it is private property, so you can only see the exterior,
Gotcha.
I guess. Although, which is stupid, because again, they should. I'm just saying this is closer to us, so we could go see it if we wanted to, but you can't go inside.
But also, you want to go to California because it's California.
That's very true. You can go get our bones popped or whatever.
Which still feels accurate to Michael.
Right, yeah. But you can only get an exterior tour of the house. It includes some goodies and the chance of taking a photo on the front porch and stuff like that. But other than that, no. But the one from
California?
the original one, it was restored and is now light blue, and it's still pretty much the same. It's
Yeah,
just,
nice.
It looks
Newer.
nice. Yeah. The inside the house reported that those inside the house are not really big fans of people visiting the house due to its cultural significance, but at least they can see it from the outside, you know?
Yeah.
Which,
I'm like, then
why would you have
build
the
it?
house?
Why would you have the house if you're not...
No, the original one.
But yeah, the original one.
Yeah.
Why would you move your business into it
Yeah.
if you, like...
If you know that that's...
If you know that that's the Michael house, like, that's on you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, for real.
But I wonder what other businesses were in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Just lots of things. So there's 2 different Myers houses,
Yeah.
if you're interested, depending on what side of the U.S. you're on,
Yeah.
or of the world,
Mhm.
whatever's closer to you, if you're into that.
Yeah.
But that's all the notes I got. And then, yeah, I feel like I definitely have more 1 stars than I do
Okay.
notes.
Go for it.
There's only 2, but they're kind of long. This compelled me to writing for the first time ever.
What?
I'm sure they meant like writing a review for the first time ever, but like
They
you
should have
sound
said that. They
you
made it
sound stupid.
Yeah. You sound stupid.
I first time writing
Me.
ever. Yes.
Me am right for first time.
Now, yes. I have watched every horror movie. This sits at the bottom. I don't think you've seen every horror movie.
There's no fucking way. I'm sorry. You have not.
Yeah. No plot, no story. But there is.
But there is.
Every character is the dumbest person on the planet, doing every cliche possible in the book. Me and my girlfriend were rooting for them all to die in the end. I mean...
Could you list at least some of the cliches?
Right. This is the first horror movie where I have ever wanted the killer to actually win because of the terrible acting. Character
I'm
development...
sorry, have you not seen the Saw movies? At the end of it, I'm always rooting for Tobin because these motherfuckers deserve it.
I'm always rooting for him.
I'm always rooting.
Like, get their ass. Please.
Like, all these assholes deserve it.
Okay. Character development wasn't there because of the 50 people I was meant to keep track of. I don't remember any of their names. Fair enough, we couldn't either.
And not everybody matters.
That's true.
Only a handful that do.
There was a new crop of idiots every scene.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. That's how horror movies kind
Yeah.
of go. The movie was basically Groundhog Day in the same loop, but with no substance. Watch this if you want to lose some brain cells, and watch Michael Myers walk around for an hour. Fastest walker in the history of life, apparently. Absolute joke. He is pretty quick on his feet.
Yeah.
But
He's
that's
quick
his
as fuck, but
supernatural powers,
that's
I
his
guess.
thing. I explained in the original Halloween films that technically every time the camera panned away, they would freeze.
Yeah.
So, like, I was literally equating it to the equivalent of, like, a D&D fight. Like, the round is 6 seconds, but, like, our actual time that it takes each player to do their stuff takes long. So that's, like, the equivalent.
We're sitting at that table for an hour trying to battle one fucking pack of rats.
Like, it takes time. So that's the best way that you can equate it. If you think things are taking longer, that's probably why.
Yeah.
It's done like that on purpose to mimic the original films.
Second one. Where do I start? I have been a fan of the original for as long as I can remember. So, there's that. I even reserve judgment on the new movies when they remove their sister angle.
Number one, if you were a fan of the original, you would know that she was never a sister.
I think he meant, like, his actual sister.
No,
They removed the sister angle, but, like, they didn't remove the sister angle.
they removed the sister angle. He's talking about the angle of Laurie Strode being his sister.
Oh! Yeah, no, she was never his sister.
She was never his sister. That was in all of the other random fucking movies that were in the middle.
Right.
The first two, not once is there a reference to her being his sister.
Correct.
That's all in that middle shit that is all the chaos zone. So they literally, the only reason why in the 2018 film they like there's that comment is to like be like, no, that's never how it's been.
Yeah.
So you're already wrong.
But after being disappointed by the first of the new series, I held out hope that the second would turn a corner. Little did I know, it could get worse. I can only assume that the people involved have never seen the original Halloween.
Even though they did a flashback to the original.
That's fine.
Whatever.
They are more concerned about body count and gore than the suspense that has always been the trademark of the series. They couldn't decide if Michael was a methodical, emotionless, empty killer like the original, or a Dahmer-like serial killer that had to pose his victims for some weird gratification.
He did that even in the first one.
Yeah, he posed his sister, didn't he?
It wasn't his sister. It was he posed his sister's gravestone over the body of one of Laurie's friends.
That, yeah.
And then put the rest of her friends' bodies in the fucking closet. Like, yes, he's already done that. Again, you're making it seem more and more like you're a liar when you say that you're a fan of the original film. Like, you just sound more stupid because you don't sound like you've actually watched the original films.
In Rob Zombie's remakes,
Yeah.
he managed to make Michael more violent without losing the core of who he was. This movie is clearly a bipolar Michael that is confusing at best.
I'm sorry. Have you watched the Rob Zombie movies? Rob Zombie's great. But 90% of the
Those
movie,
are probably his favorite ones.
Michael did not have a mask on. He only put the mask on when he killed somebody.
Oh.
There was a little sister angle in that film.
So he's talking... I feel like he thinks that the Rob Zombies are the originals.
No, they're not. The Rob Zombie films make Michael have emotion. To some degree.
Wild.
Like as if he has to put the mask on in order to be able to kill.
Yeah, okay.
But he's just like a long-haired dude that just puts the mask on. And then there's a sister angle. Yeah.
Then we have the angry mob. Again, can't decide if they want to encourage the audience to root for them or make a social statement about vigilante justice when they cause the death of an innocent person.
Yes, it's that one.
Yeah. Tack on the corny dialogue, and it was just a hot mess.
Clearly, you don't know which films were actually the first films, but whatever.
Yeah.
Since I now thoroughly believe that you think that the Rob Zombie films were the originals, which ain't it.
Right. That's crazy. How you gonna pull up in here and be all typey if you don't even know?
For real. I'm like, you clearly were not paying attention. Like, you could have Googled at any point in time and been like, film series. And then looked at the year that it came out. And been like, oop, that's not the original. Very fast and very easily. Anyway.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it for me.
Alrighty. We are at our epic conclusion.
That was so epic, guys.
For next week.
We just blew up a car and now we're walking away from it.
Our next week is Halloween Ends. For our final week of October. This one should come out as scheduled. Don't quote me on it. But fingies crossed. It should come out when it's supposed to. But yeah. Remember, rate, comment, subscribe, like, 5 stars.
Only.
All that kind of stuff. Send us an email at horrorunmasked@gmail.com. Follow us at Instagram and Twitter at horrorunmasked. Listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Audible, Pandora, and YouTube at Horror Unmasked Podcasts. And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to ask. Will you fear?
Or will you fear not?